10 bad minutes can steal an entire day from you, and most people willingly let it happen. One rude comment at breakfast stays in your head until night. One disappointing message changes your mood for hours. One mistake happens, and suddenly your mind decides that everything is going wrong. The event ended, but inside your head, you keep living it again and again. Buddhism teaches that this is where much of our suffering actually begins. Life hurts you once, then the mind repeats the pain 20 more times. Imagine how different your life would feel if you could end the suffering when the moment ends. Today, you are going to learn 7 powerful Buddhist lessons that can train your mind to recover faster, feel lighter, and find peace even on days that give you every reason not to. 1. Do not turn one difficult moment into an entire difficult day. One bad moment does not need to become a bad day. Someone may speak badly to you, a plan may fail, or something may happen that makes you upset. The problem becomes bigger when your mind keeps replaying that moment for hours. Buddhism teaches us to feel the pain without holding on to it longer than necessary. For example, someone may say something rude to you in the morning. The conversation lasts only a few minutes, but you keep thinking about it all day. The person may have already forgotten what happened, while you are still carrying their words in your mind. When something difficult happens, remind yourself, this is only one moment, not my whole day. Allow yourself to feel upset. Take a few deep breaths, and slowly return your attention to the present. You can have a difficult morning and still enjoy your afternoon. One painful moment should not take away all the good moments that may still be waiting for you. 2. Stop demanding that every day feel good. You do not need to feel happy every moment of every day. Some days you may feel tired, stressed, disappointed, or simply not like yourself. Buddhism teaches us that these feelings are a normal part of life. The more you fight them and tell yourself, I should be happy, the more pressure you create in your mind. Instead, accept how you feel without judging yourself. If today feels difficult, remind yourself that it will not feel this way forever. Emotions change just like the weather. A heavy feeling can become lighter when you stop fighting it. You do not have to fix everything immediately. Sometimes you simply need rest, quiet, or a little time. Allow the feeling to come and pass naturally. A difficult day does not mean you have a difficult life. Be patient with yourself, because tomorrow may feel completely different. 3. Train your attention to notice what is still good. The mind naturally pays more attention to problems than to peaceful moments. One small thing can go wrong, and suddenly it feels like the whole day is bad. You may have many good things around you, but your mind keeps returning to the one problem that is bothering you. Buddhism teaches us to become more aware of where we place our attention, because what we focus on strongly affects how we feel. This does not mean you should ignore your problems or pretend everything is perfect. It simply means you should not allow one difficulty to hide everything that is still good in your life. Even on a hard day, there may still be something peaceful around you. It could be a quiet morning, a warm drink, fresh air, a kind message, a good meal, a short walk, or simply a few minutes when your mind feels calm. When you begin noticing these small moments, your day starts to feel different. You realize that life is rarely completely good or completely bad. A difficult day can still contain peaceful moments, and a stressful week can still contain something worth appreciating. Buddhism teaches mindfulness, which means paying attention to what is happening right now. Instead of constantly thinking about what went wrong yesterday or what might go wrong tomorrow, look at what is in front of you today. Ask yourself, what is still good in this moment? Maybe you are safe. Maybe you have someone who cares about you. Maybe you have another chance to improve something. Maybe you are simply able to sit quietly and breathe. The more you practice this, the more your mind learns to notice good things naturally. You stop waiting for a perfect life before allowing yourself to feel grateful. You begin understanding that peace is often found in small moments that we usually ignore. Train your attention to see those moments, because sometimes feeling better starts with simply noticing what is already good. 4. Stop believing every thought that makes you feel bad. Not every thought that enters your mind is true. Sometimes your mind tells you that everything is going wrong, nobody understands you, you are not good enough, or something bad is going to happen. These thoughts can feel very real, especially when you are tired, stressed, disappointed, or afraid. But Buddhism teaches us that thoughts are temporary mental events. They come, they stay for a while, and then they pass. You do not have to believe every thought just because it appears in your mind. For example, you may make one mistake and immediately think, "I always ruin everything." But one mistake does not mean you ruin everything. Someone may not reply to your message, and your mind may quickly say, "They do not care about me." But there may be many other reasons why they have not replied. Your mind often creates a full story before you know the truth. When you believe that story immediately, you can create unnecessary sadness, fear, and stress for yourself. Buddhism teaches us to observe our thoughts instead of becoming controlled by them. When a negative thought appears, do not fight it and do not follow it immediately. Simply notice it. You can say to yourself, "This is a thought, not a fact." That small sentence can create space between you and what your mind is telling you. Once you create that space, the thought begins to lose some of its power. Ask yourself simple questions. Is this thought completely true? Do I have real proof, or am I only assuming the worst? Would I think the same way if I were calm right now? Many times, you will notice that your mind is reacting from fear rather than reality. A tired mind sees problems everywhere. An anxious mind expects bad things. An angry mind remembers every reason to stay angry. That is why you should not make important conclusions about your life when your emotions are very strong. Imagine your thoughts like clouds moving across the sky. Some clouds are light and some are dark, but none of them stay forever. Your mind is like the sky. A painful thought can pass through you without becoming your identity. You can think, "I am failing," without actually being a failure. You can think, "Nothing will get better," without knowing what tomorrow will bring. The more you practice watching your thoughts, the calmer you become. You stop reacting to every negative idea as if it is an emergency. You begin choosing which thoughts deserve your attention and which ones should simply be allowed to pass. Buddhism reminds us that peace begins when we stop letting every thought control our emotions. So the next time your mind tells you something painful, pause before believing it. Breathe, look at the situation clearly, and remind yourself that thoughts are not always facts. Your mind may be loud, but you do not have to obey everything it says. Sometimes feeling better begins with one simple habit. Stop believing every thought that makes you feel bad. 5. Protect the first hour of your day. The way you begin your morning can shape the way you feel for the rest of the day. Many people wake up and immediately check their phone, messages, social media, news, emails, and other people's lives. Before they even get out of bed, their mind is already full of information, comparison, worry, and pressure. Buddhism teaches us that the mind becomes calmer when we begin the day with awareness instead of reaction. Your first hour does not need to be perfect, but it should not belong completely to the outside world. Give yourself some quiet time before you allow other people's problems, opinions, and demands into your mind. Even a few peaceful minutes can make a big difference. Sit quietly, take slow breaths, drink water, stretch your body, look outside, or simply enjoy the silence around you. This gives your mind a chance to wake up slowly instead of starting the day in stress. When you wake up and immediately look at social media, you may begin comparing your life with other people. You see someone traveling, someone earning more money, someone looking happier, or someone achieving something you want. Without realizing it, you may start your morning feeling behind, unhappy, or not good enough. But Buddhism teaches that comparison pulls the mind away from the present moment. Your life is happening where you are, not on someone else's screen. Try to begin your day by bringing your attention back to yourself. Ask, how do I want to feel today? Maybe you want to be calm, patient, focused, kind, or grateful. You cannot control everything that will happen during the day, but you can choose the mindset you want to carry into it. This simple intention can help you respond better when difficult situations appear. You can also use the morning to remind yourself of what is already good in your life. Think of 1 or 2 things you are grateful for. It could be your health, your family, your home, your work, another chance to improve, or simply the fact that you have another morning in front of you. Gratitude does not remove your problems, but it stops your problems from becoming the only thing you see. Buddhism also teaches the importance of being present. Instead of waking up and immediately worrying about everything you need to do, focus on one thing at a time. When you drink your tea or coffee, simply drink it. When you shower, be present in that moment. When you eat breakfast, try not to fill your mind with 10 other problems. These simple habits train your mind to stay where your body is, instead of constantly running into the future. You do not need a complicated morning routine. You do not need to wake up extremely early or spend an hour meditating. The goal is simply to protect your mind from unnecessary stress at the beginning of the day. Even 10 or 15 quiet minutes can help you feel more balanced. Think of your morning like the foundation of a house. If the foundation is calm and steady, it becomes easier to handle what comes later. Problems may still appear, people may still test your patience, and plans may still change, but you will be meeting those situations from a calmer place. So tomorrow morning, before you give your attention to everyone else, give some of it to yourself. Breathe. Sit quietly. Move slowly. Remind yourself that you do not need to begin every day in a hurry. Protect the first hour of your day, because a peaceful morning can help create a more peaceful mind. 6. Stop carrying other people's energy. One of the biggest reasons people feel emotionally tired is because they carry too much of what belongs to other people. Someone is angry, and you become disturbed. Someone is disappointed, and you begin blaming yourself. Someone speaks badly to you, and you spend the entire day thinking about their words. Someone ignores you, and your mind immediately starts asking, "What did I do wrong?" Without realizing it, you allow other people's moods, reactions, and opinions to control how you feel. Buddhism teaches us that inner peace becomes stronger when we learn what belongs to us and what belongs to someone else. You cannot control another person's mood. You cannot control how they see you. You cannot control whether they understand your intentions. You cannot control what they say about you when you are not in the room. You cannot control whether they are kind, patient, mature, or respectful. But you can control how much space you give their behavior inside your mind. This is where your power begins. Imagine you wake up feeling peaceful, but then someone around you is angry. Maybe they speak in a harsh tone or treat you differently. Within a few minutes, your peaceful morning is gone. Now you are thinking about their behavior, trying to understand what happened, wondering whether they are angry with you, and feeling uncomfortable because of their mood. The other person may be dealing with something that has nothing to do with you, but you have already taken their emotional state and made it your own. This happens more often than we realize. We absorb the stress of our family, the negativity of co-workers, the criticism of strangers, and the opinions of people online. By the end of the day, we feel exhausted and do not even understand why. Sometimes, the exhaustion does not come from our own problems. It comes from carrying emotional weight that was never ours to carry. Buddhism teaches non-attachment. Non-attachment does not mean that you stop caring about people. It does not mean becoming cold, distant, or selfish. It means caring without losing yourself. It means loving people without allowing every change in their mood to change your inner state. It means listening to someone's problems without believing that you must solve everything for them. It means understanding that another person's emotions are real, but they do not always need to become your emotions. If someone is angry, you can understand that they are angry without becoming angry yourself. If someone is sad, you can support them without becoming completely lost in their sadness. If someone dislikes you, you can accept that feeling without spending hours trying to change their mind. This is emotional freedom. Many people think they must react to everything. If someone is rude, they feel they must be rude back. If someone ignores them, they feel they must immediately ask why. If someone criticizes them, they feel they must explain themselves. But Buddhism teaches us that not every action requires a reaction. Sometimes the strongest response is simply remaining calm. When someone brings negative energy toward you, pause before you respond. Take one breath. Give yourself a few seconds. Ask yourself, do I really need to carry this? That pause can save you from hours of unnecessary stress. You may realize that the person's reaction is coming from their own pain, insecurity, fear, jealousy, tiredness, or frustration. People often give others what they are carrying inside themselves. A peaceful person usually does not spend their day creating unnecessary conflict. A person who is deeply secure rarely needs to constantly put others down. A person who is happy with their own life usually does not spend all their energy judging yours. When you understand this, you stop taking everything so personally. Suppose someone says something hurtful to you. Your first reaction may be anger. You may want to defend yourself immediately, but instead, pause and ask yourself, what does this really say about me, and what does it say about them? Sometimes criticism contains something useful, and you should learn from it. But sometimes criticism is simply another person's frustration being placed on you. Wisdom means knowing the difference. You do not have to accept every opinion as truth. Someone can misunderstand you and still be wrong. Someone can judge you and still not know your full story. Someone can dislike your choices and still not understand why you made them. Your responsibility is not to make everyone approve of you. Your responsibility is to live with awareness, kindness, and honesty. Buddhism teaches that attachment to approval creates suffering. When you desperately need everyone to like you, you begin changing yourself for people who may never be satisfied. You become afraid of disappointing them. You overthink every conversation. You worry about how you looked, what you said, and what they might be thinking about you. Slowly, your peace becomes dependent on other people's reactions. This is a dangerous way to live because people change constantly. Someone may praise you today and criticize you tomorrow. Someone may understand you today and misunderstand you next week. If your happiness depends on their approval, your happiness will always be unstable. You must learn to create a stronger center within yourself. Know who you are. Know your values. Know your intentions. Know when you have done your best. When you have made a mistake, admit it and improve. But when you know you have acted with good intentions, do not spend your entire day trying to prove yourself to everyone. Sometimes people will misunderstand you, no matter how carefully you explain yourself. You can explain your heart 10 times, and they may still choose the version of you that exists in their own mind. Buddhism reminds us that we suffer when we try to control what cannot be controlled. Another person's mind is one of those things. You can communicate clearly, but you cannot force understanding. You can treat people kindly, but you cannot force them to appreciate you. You can be honest, but you cannot stop someone from believing something false. At some point, you have to let people think what they think and return your attention to your own life. This does not mean ignoring healthy feedback. If several people you trust tell you that your behavior is hurting others, listen carefully. Buddhism is not about protecting the ego, It is about seeing clearly. But there is a difference between learning from helpful feedback and becoming controlled by every opinion. Not every comment deserves your attention. Not every argument deserves your energy. Not every person deserves access to your peace. Think about how much energy you lose when you replay conversations. You think about what someone said yesterday. You imagine what you should have said. You create future arguments in your mind. You picture yourself explaining everything perfectly. Meanwhile, the other person may be sleeping peacefully, working, laughing, or completely forgetting the situation. You are the one continuing the conflict inside your own head. Buddhism teaches us to return to the present moment. Ask yourself, is this person here right now? If they are not, why are you allowing them to occupy your mind so strongly? Their physical presence may be gone, but your thoughts are keeping them emotionally present. This is especially important when dealing with difficult people. Some people know exactly how to disturb your peace. They may criticize everything you do, create unnecessary arguments, speak negatively, or try to provoke reactions from you. If you react every time, they begin controlling your emotional state without even realizing it. Your strength comes from learning not to react automatically. You do not have to answer every insult. You do not have to correct every misunderstanding. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. Sometimes silence protects your peace better than another explanation. Imagine someone throws a burning object toward you. Would you hold on to it simply because they gave it to you? Of course not. You would put it down immediately. Negative words and emotions can work the same way. Someone may throw anger, jealousy, bitterness, or disrespect toward you. You do not have to hold on to it. You can say to yourself, this belongs to them. I do not need to carry it. That simple thought can create emotional distance. You may still feel hurt because you are human, but you stop feeding the hurt. Another important part of protecting yourself is setting boundaries. Buddhism teaches compassion, but compassion does not mean allowing people to repeatedly harm your peace. You can be kind and still say no. You can forgive someone and still keep distance. You can understand someone's pain and still decide that their behavior is unhealthy for you. Many people stay in stressful situations because they are afraid that boundaries make them selfish. But a boundary is simply a clear understanding of what you will and will not accept. Without boundaries, you may constantly become responsible for other people's emotions. For example, someone may become upset every time you choose something for yourself. If you always change your decision simply because they are unhappy, you teach yourself that their feelings matter more than your needs. Over time, this creates resentment, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. You can care about their feelings without making their feelings your command. Sometimes another person will be disappointed by a healthy decision you make. That does not automatically mean the decision is wrong. You cannot live your whole life avoiding other people's disappointment. If you do, you may eventually become disappointed with yourself. Buddhism encourages a balanced mind. A balanced mind can say, I understand that you are upset, but I still need to make this decision. You do not need anger. You do not need guilt. You simply remain clear. Another way we carry people's energy is through comparison. You see someone succeeding and suddenly feel like you are failing. You see someone looking happy and begin questioning your own life. You see someone's achievements and feel pressure to move faster. Their life enters your mind and changes how you feel about your own. Buddhism teaches us that comparison often comes from attachment and desire. You begin wanting another person's path instead of appreciating your own. But you rarely see their full reality. You see one photo, one achievement, or one moment. You do not see their fears, failures, struggles, or private problems. Your journey has its own timing. Someone else's success does not mean you are behind. Their happiness does not take happiness away from you. Their progress does not reduce your ability to progress. When you stop carrying comparison, you become lighter. Social media can make this difficult because you are constantly exposed to other people's lives. If you are not careful, you can spend your morning absorbing hundreds of people's opinions, achievements, complaints, and emotions. Your mind was never designed to carry that much information all the time. Give yourself permission to step away. You do not need to know what everyone is doing. You do not need to read every comment. You do not need to follow every disagreement. Protecting your attention is part of protecting your peace. Buddhism teaches mindful consumption. Just as you think carefully about what you put into your body, think carefully about what you put into your mind. If certain people, pages, conversations, or environments constantly leave you angry, anxious, or negative, reduce your exposure when possible. Notice how you feel after spending time with different people. Some people leave you feeling calm, encouraged, and understood. Others leave you exhausted, confused, or constantly doubting yourself. This awareness matters. You do not always need to remove people completely from your life. Sometimes you simply need healthier emotional distance. Speak less about personal matters. Spend less time in unnecessary arguments. Stop trying to get emotional support from someone who repeatedly shows that they cannot provide it. Accepting people as they are can sometimes mean accepting that they cannot give you what you keep expecting from them. This is another powerful Buddhist lesson. Much suffering comes from expectation. You expect someone to understand you, behave differently, apologize, change, or finally give you the respect you deserve. Every time they fail to meet that expectation, you become hurt again. Sometimes peace begins when you stop expecting a difficult person to suddenly become easy. See them clearly. If someone has repeatedly shown you their behavior, stop being surprised every time they repeat it. Adjust your expectations and protect yourself accordingly. This does not mean becoming hopeless about people. People can change, but change must come from them. You cannot force it through your worry, anger, love, or repeated explanations. Your job is to work on your own mind. Another person's healing is their responsibility. This understanding can remove a huge emotional burden from your life. You stop thinking, "How can I fix them?" and begin asking, "How can I respond wisely?" Sometimes the wise response is compassion. Sometimes it is silence. Sometimes it is a conversation. Sometimes it is distance. Sometimes it is forgiveness. Sometimes it is simply accepting that you cannot change the situation. Forgiveness is especially important when you want to stop carrying someone's energy. Many people misunderstand forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean saying what happened was acceptable. It does not mean trusting someone again. It does not mean forgetting the lesson. Forgiveness means you stop allowing the past to constantly control your present emotions. When you refuse to release anger, you may think you are punishing the other person. But often, you are the one carrying the pain every day. The person who hurt you may not even know how much you are thinking about them. Buddhism teaches that holding on to anger is another form of attachment. You remain connected to the person through resentment. Letting go breaks that connection inside your mind. You can say, "What happened was wrong, but I do not want to carry it forever." That is not weakness. It is freedom. You also need to stop carrying responsibility for how everyone feels about your choices. If you spend your life trying to keep everyone happy, you will eventually lose yourself. There will always be someone who disagrees with you. You can choose a career, and someone may say it is wrong. You can change your lifestyle, and someone may criticize you. You can become quieter, and someone may call you distant. You can become more confident, and someone may call you arrogant. You cannot create a version of yourself that receives approval from everyone, so stop trying. Instead, become someone you respect. Ask yourself whether your actions are honest, kind, responsible, and aligned with your values. If the answer is yes, continue moving forward. Let other people have their opinions without carrying those opinions as emotional weight. There is a beautiful freedom in realizing that not everything is about you. Someone's bad mood may not be about you. Their silence may not be about you. Their short reply may not be about you. Their decision may not be about you. Their frustration may come from something completely unrelated to you. The mind often makes itself the center of every situation. Buddhism teaches us to loosen that attachment to the self. When you stop assuming that everything is a personal message about your worth, life becomes much easier. The next time someone's behavior changes, do not immediately create a painful story. Give the situation space. Maybe they are dealing with something you know nothing about. And even if their behavior is about you, you can still respond calmly. You can ask questions instead of making assumptions. You can listen without immediately defending yourself. You can apologize if needed. You can walk away if the conversation becomes unhealthy. You always have choices. The goal is not to become emotionally numb. You will still feel things. People's words can still hurt. Rejection can still disappoint you. Conflict can still make you uncomfortable. The goal is to stop allowing those emotions to stay longer than they need to. Feel the emotion, understand it, learn from it, and then release what you can. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with stones. Every time someone criticizes you, you add a stone. Every time someone disappoints you, another stone. Every argument, another stone. Every negative opinion, another stone. Eventually, you are exhausted. Buddhism asks you to look inside that backpack and ask, why am I still carrying all of this? Some of those stones are years old. Someone said something to you a long time ago, but you still hear their voice in your mind. Someone rejected you, and you still use that experience to judge your worth. Someone made you feel small, and years later, you are still trying to prove them wrong. You do not have to continue carrying old energy into a new day. Put some of it down. You do not need to prove yourself to everyone who doubted you. You do not need to win every argument from your past. You do not need an apology from every person who hurt you before you allow yourself to heal. Sometimes closure comes from you. You decide that you are finished carrying the situation. This is why meditation and mindfulness can be so helpful. When you sit quietly, you begin noticing how many people are living inside your thoughts. You hear old conversations, you remember criticism, you imagine future conflicts. Instead of following each thought, you learn to watch it and let it pass. With practice, you begin understanding that you can choose what receives your attention. Attention is valuable. Where you place your attention, your emotional energy follows. If you spend hours thinking about someone who upset you, you are giving them hours of your life. If you spend all day thinking about how someone sees you, you are allowing their opinion to become more important than your own experience. Bring your attention home. Return to your breath. Return to your work. Return to the people who treat you well. Return to your goals. Return to what you can actually control. Buddhism teaches that peace is found in the present, but other people's energy often pulls us away from the present. We replay yesterday and worry about tomorrow. We imagine conversations that are not happening. Ask yourself, what is actually happening right now? Maybe right now you are safe. Right now the argument is over. Right now the person is not in front of you. Right now you have the opportunity to choose peace. Use that opportunity. Another important lesson is to stop trying to match people's negative behavior. If someone treats you badly, you may feel that treating them badly in return will make you stronger. But often, it simply brings you into the same emotional state. Buddhism teaches that you do not have to become like the person who hurt you. Someone else's anger does not require your anger. Someone else's disrespect does not require you to lose your character. You can protect yourself without becoming cruel. You can be firm without becoming hateful. You can leave without creating unnecessary destruction. Your peace is more valuable than winning every emotional battle. In daily life, practice a simple habit. When you notice yourself becoming affected by someone else's mood, stop and ask 3 questions. Is this mine to carry? Can I control this? What response will protect my peace? These questions bring you back to yourself. Maybe the answer is to listen. Maybe it is to communicate. Maybe it is to take a break. Maybe it is to say no. Maybe it is to do nothing. Not every situation needs immediate action. Sometimes people are simply having a bad day. Give them space without making their bad day your own. The more you practice this, the more emotionally stable you become. You stop being pulled in every direction by other people's behavior. Their moods can change without changing your entire day. Their opinions can exist without becoming your identity. This does not happen overnight. If you have spent years worrying about what everyone thinks, you will not suddenly stop in one day. But every time you notice yourself absorbing someone else's energy and gently release it, you are training your mind. Over time, the mind learns. You begin to understand, I can care without carrying. I can listen without absorbing. I can love without losing myself. That is a powerful form of peace. So when someone is angry tomorrow, remember that you do not have to become angry. When someone misunderstands you, remember that you do not have to spend the entire day proving yourself. When someone criticizes you, take what is useful and leave what is not. When someone is negative, do not allow their darkness to decide the mood of your mind. Protect your inner space. You have limited emotional energy each day. Use it carefully. Give it to your growth, your health, your goals, your family, your peace, and the things that truly matter. Do not spend all of it carrying people who are not carrying you. Buddhism teaches that freedom begins when you stop holding on to what you cannot control. Other people's thoughts, moods, reactions, and opinions belong to them. Your response belongs to you. That is where your peace lives. You do not need everyone around you to become peaceful before you can feel peaceful. You do not need everyone to understand you before you can understand yourself. You do not need everyone to treat you perfectly before you can protect your own mind. Learn to let people feel what they feel without making their emotions your responsibility. Learn to let people think what they think without constantly trying to enter their minds and change the story. Learn to walk away from unnecessary emotional weight. And at the end of the day, ask yourself a simple question. How much of what I carried today actually belonged to me? You may be surprised by the answer. The more you release what belongs to others, the lighter you become. And sometimes, feeling better every day is not about adding something new to your life. It is about finally putting down the emotional weight that was never yours to carry. 7. Give yourself one reason to look forward to tomorrow. Sometimes the reason you do not feel good is not because something terrible is happening. Sometimes your days have simply become too repetitive. You wake up, do the same work, think about the same problems, deal with the same responsibilities, and go to sleep without anything that makes you feel excited about tomorrow. Life starts to feel heavy because every day feels exactly the same. Buddhism teaches us to return to the present moment, but it also teaches us to appreciate the small experiences that make ordinary life meaningful. You do not need something huge to look forward to. You do not need a vacation, a big achievement, a new relationship, more money, or some dramatic change before you can enjoy your life. Sometimes one small thing is enough. It could be a peaceful morning walk, your favorite meal, a new book, a workout, listening to music, meeting someone you enjoy talking to, visiting a peaceful place, or simply giving yourself an hour without stress. The mind needs small moments of hope. When you know there is something pleasant waiting for you, even a difficult day becomes easier to handle. You may have responsibilities and problems, but somewhere inside your mind you know, later, I have something good waiting for me. That small thought can give you energy. Think about how children experience life. They can become excited about very simple things. a favorite snack, a game, going outside, seeing someone they love, or doing something they enjoy can make the entire day feel special. As adults, we often lose this ability because we believe happiness must come from something important or impressive. We start thinking that ordinary moments are not enough. Buddhism teaches the opposite. Ordinary moments are where most of life happens. If you keep waiting for extraordinary things before you allow yourself to feel good, you may spend most of your life waiting. Big achievements are rare. Vacations end, celebrations pass. Success becomes normal after some time, but small moments are available almost every day. This is why you should intentionally create something to look forward to. At night, ask yourself, what is one thing I can enjoy tomorrow? It can be simple. Maybe you will wake up early and drink tea somewhere quiet. Maybe you will take a walk after work. Maybe you will watch something you enjoy. Maybe you will cook your favorite food. Maybe you will spend 30 minutes learning something new. The important thing is that the activity belongs to you. It gives your mind a small reason to move toward tomorrow instead of only worrying about what tomorrow may bring. Many people wake up already thinking about responsibilities. I have to go to work. I have to finish this task. I have to deal with this person. I have to solve this problem. Their entire day becomes a list of things they must survive. When life becomes only responsibility, the mind naturally becomes tired. You need balance. There should be things you need to do, but there should also be things you want to do. This does not mean avoiding your responsibilities. It means remembering that you are a human being, not a machine. You need moments of enjoyment, rest, curiosity, and peace. Buddhism teaches us the middle way, which is about balance. A life based only on pleasure can create problems, but a life based only on pressure can also create suffering. You need discipline, but you also need rest. You need goals, but you also need moments where you simply enjoy being alive. Sometimes people feel guilty when they do something only because it makes them happy. They think every moment must be productive. If they sit quietly, they feel they are wasting time. If they take a walk, they think they should be working. If they watch something they enjoy, they feel guilty because they are not improving themselves. But rest is not always wasted time. Peace is not laziness. Enjoyment does not automatically mean you are avoiding your responsibilities. A calm mind often works better than an exhausted mind. When you give yourself healthy moments of enjoyment, you return to your responsibilities with more energy. Buddhism reminds us that life is happening right now. If you are constantly preparing for the future but never enjoying the present, you may eventually reach your goals and realize you forgot how to live. You might say, I will enjoy life when I make more money. Then you make more money and create another condition. I will enjoy life when I buy a house. Then you get the house and think, I will enjoy life when I have more free time. The mind keeps moving happiness into the future. There is always another condition. Buddhism teaches us to notice this habit because it can continue forever. If happiness is always waiting somewhere in the future, you never fully experience it today. This does not mean you should stop having goals. Goals are good. Working towards something meaningful can give your life direction. But your future goals should not steal every good moment from your present life. You can work hard and still enjoy your morning. You can have problems and still laugh with someone. You can be improving your life and still appreciate where you are today. These things can exist together. One powerful habit is to create small rituals that make your ordinary days feel better. A ritual is simply something you do regularly that brings you peace or enjoyment. It could be making your favorite drink in the morning, taking a short walk after dinner, reading before bed, exercising in the evening, or sitting quietly for 10 minutes. These small rituals give your day structure and comfort. They become little places of peace inside your routine. Imagine having a difficult workday, but knowing that every evening you take a peaceful walk without your phone. During the stressful parts of your day, your mind remembers that peaceful moment is coming. It becomes easier to keep going. This is not escaping life. It is learning how to care for yourself while living it. You should also give yourself something meaningful to look forward to, not only something entertaining. Entertainment can help you relax, but meaning gives you deeper energy. Maybe you are learning a skill. Maybe you are improving your health. Maybe you are working on a personal project. Maybe you are reading a book that changes the way you think. Maybe you are building something that matters to you. When your life contains something meaningful, tomorrow feels different. You wake up with a reason to continue. Buddhism teaches us to live with awareness and intention. Instead of moving through life on automatic mode, choose what you want your days to contain. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? Maybe you enjoy nature. Then make time for nature. Maybe you enjoy learning. Give yourself something interesting to study. Maybe you enjoy helping people. Find a small way to help someone. Maybe you enjoy creating. Write, draw, build, record, cook, or make something. The goal is not to impress anyone. The goal is to reconnect with your own life. Many people stop doing things they enjoy because they become too focused on what other people think. They choose activities based on what looks successful, impressive, or productive. But if everything you do is for approval, eventually your life can feel empty. Buddhism teaches us to loosen our attachment to approval. You do not need permission to enjoy simple things. If you enjoy sitting in a quiet park, do it. If you enjoy reading for an hour, do it. If you enjoy cooking, gardening, walking, exercising, or listening to peaceful music, allow yourself to enjoy those things. You do not need to explain why something makes you feel good. Not every meaningful experience needs an audience. Sometimes the most peaceful parts of your life will be the parts nobody else sees. This is especially important when you are going through a difficult period. When life feels heavy, you may stop doing the things that normally make you feel better. You isolate yourself, stop exercising, stop going outside, stop talking to people, and spend more time thinking about your problems. The mind then becomes trapped inside the same emotional environment. You need small interruptions, not distractions that help you avoid reality forever, but healthy moments that remind you life is bigger than your current problem. If you are going through a difficult time, choose one small thing to do every day that brings you back to yourself. Go outside for 10 minutes. Take a shower and put on clean clothes. Make a healthy meal. Call someone you trust. Clean one part of your room. Read a few pages. Stretch your body. These actions may seem small, but small actions can change the direction of a day. Buddhism teaches that everything is connected. Your thoughts influence your actions influence your emotions, and your environment influences your mind. Sometimes you do not need to think your way into feeling better. Sometimes you need to act your way into feeling better. If you wait until you feel motivated before doing something good for yourself, you may wait a long time. Instead, begin with a small action. You may not feel like walking, but after 10 minutes outside, your mind may become clearer. You may not feel like cleaning, but after organizing your space, you may feel lighter. You may not feel like speaking to anyone, but one good conversation may change your mood. Action can create emotion. This is why giving yourself something to look forward to is so powerful. It gently pulls your mind forward. Another important lesson is to stop thinking tomorrow has to be perfect before it can be worth looking forward to. Tomorrow may still include work, responsibilities, stress, and problems, but it can also include one good meal, one peaceful conversation, one moment of laughter, one useful lesson, and 1 hour where you feel okay. A difficult day is not completely empty. Train yourself to look for the parts worth experiencing. Buddhism teaches that suffering becomes heavier when the mind focuses only on what is missing. You think about the money you do not have, the relationship you do not have, the success you have not reached, or the person who is no longer in your life. Meanwhile, you may be ignoring what is still available to you. Your morning is available. Your breath is available. Your ability to learn is available. Your ability to take a walk, have a conversation, improve one habit, or enjoy one peaceful moment may still be available. Start there. You do not have to solve your entire life before you can feel a little better. Sometimes you only need to make the next few hours better. This idea can be especially helpful when you feel overwhelmed. If you think about everything you need to fix over the next year, the pressure may feel enormous. Instead, ask, what can I do today that will make tomorrow slightly better? Maybe you can prepare your clothes tonight. Maybe you can clean your desk. Maybe you can go to bed earlier. Maybe you can finish one small task. Maybe you can prepare a healthy breakfast. These small actions create something to look forward to because you are making tomorrow easier for yourself. This is a form of self-respect. Your future self is still you. Treat that person kindly. Do something tonight that makes tomorrow morning better. Do something this morning that makes tonight more peaceful. When you begin living this way, your days start supporting each other. Another reason people struggle to look forward to tomorrow is because they are carrying yesterday with them. They wake up thinking about the same old mistake, the same argument, the same regret, or the same disappointment. Buddhism teaches that every moment is new. Yesterday happened, but today is not yesterday. You may still have consequences to deal with, but you do not have to repeat the same emotional experience every morning. Give yourself permission to begin again. Maybe yesterday was terrible. Today can still contain something different. Maybe this week has been difficult. Tomorrow can still give you one peaceful hour. Do not demand a completely new life. Start with one new moment. There is also great power in curiosity. Instead of thinking, tomorrow will probably be another bad day, try asking, I wonder what tomorrow will bring. You do not know everything that will happen. There could be good news you cannot predict. You could meet someone interesting. You could understand something that has been confusing you. A problem could become easier. You could have a conversation that changes your perspective. You simply do not know. The anxious mind often acts as if the future has already been decided. It predicts the worst, and then suffers from that prediction before anything has even happened. Buddhism teaches us to stay with what is real. Tomorrow is unknown. That uncertainty does not only contain danger, it also contains possibility. Something good can happen too. Give the future room to surprise you. Do not decide that tomorrow is bad before tomorrow arrives. Another useful practice is to plan small rewards after difficult tasks. If you have something stressful to do, place something peaceful after it. Maybe after finishing your work, you take a walk. After completing an important task, you watch something you enjoy. After a difficult meeting, you sit quietly with a drink. This helps your mind understand that difficult moments are not the whole day. There is life after them. There is rest after effort. There is calm after pressure. You can use this idea in difficult periods as well. If you know you have a challenging week ahead, plan something simple for the weekend. It does not need to cost much money. Visit a peaceful place, meet someone you care about, cook something special, or give yourself a slow morning. The purpose is not to escape your problems. The purpose is to remember that your life contains more than problems. One of the deepest Buddhist lessons is impermanence. Everything changes. Good moments do not stay forever, and difficult moments do not stay forever either. When life is going well, appreciate it because it will change. When life is difficult, do not lose hope because that will change too. This understanding can give you a quiet reason to look forward to tomorrow. You know that no emotional state is permanent. You may feel tired today and stronger tomorrow. You may feel confused today and see things clearly next week. You may feel lonely today and meet someone important later. Life keeps moving. Allow it to move. Do not hold your present pain so tightly that you convince yourself it is your permanent future. You should also be careful not to make your happiness depend completely on one future event. Some people say, when this person comes back, I will be happy. When I become successful, I will be happy. When I lose weight, I will be happy. When I move somewhere else, I will be happy. These goals may improve your life, but they should not become the only door to happiness. If all your happiness is waiting behind one future condition, you place enormous pressure on that condition. Instead, create many small sources of peace. Have something you enjoy in the morning. Have something meaningful you work toward. Have someone you enjoy talking to. Have a place that helps you relax. Have a simple routine that makes you feel grounded. This creates emotional stability. If one thing goes wrong, your entire emotional life does not collapse. Buddhism teaches us not to attach all our happiness to one person or one outcome. Your peace should have many roots. Think about a tree. A tree with one weak root can fall easily. A tree with many strong roots can survive storms. Your emotional life can work the same way. Build many small roots. Your health, your friendships, your learning, your routines, your quiet time, your work, your hobbies, your connection with nature, your ability to sit peacefully with yourself. Then one difficult event cannot destroy everything. Another powerful practice is to keep a small list of things that reliably help you feel better. You do not need to wait until you are struggling to figure out what helps. Know in advance. Maybe your list includes taking a walk, showering, calling a friend, cleaning your space, stretching, listening to calm music, cooking, writing your thoughts, or getting some sleep. When you have a difficult day, choose one thing from the list. The goal is not to completely change your mood in 5 minutes. The goal is to move yourself slightly in a better direction. Feeling 5% better still matters. One peaceful hour matters. One good decision matters. Buddhism teaches that small actions repeated consistently can transform the mind. You do not need one dramatic breakthrough. You need practice. Practice noticing what helps. Practice creating peaceful moments. Practice planning something simple to enjoy. Practice ending the day without carrying everything into tomorrow. At night, you can create a simple habit. Before sleeping, think about 3 things. First, ask, what can I release from today? Maybe an argument, maybe a mistake, maybe something embarrassing, maybe a problem you cannot solve tonight. Tell yourself that you can return to it tomorrow if needed. You do not need to carry it into your sleep. Second, ask, what was one good thing about today? Maybe it was very small. That is fine. Third, ask, what is one thing I can look forward to tomorrow? This practice gently trains your mind to stop ending every day with worry. Instead, you close the day with awareness and a little hope. Over time, this changes the emotional rhythm of your life. You stop seeing tomorrow only as another collection of problems. Tomorrow becomes another opportunity to experience something meaningful. And remember, you do not always need to know your big purpose in life. People sometimes put enormous pressure on themselves because they think they need one huge reason to wake up every morning. Purpose can be simple. Maybe today your purpose is to take care of yourself. Maybe tomorrow it is to help someone. Maybe this month it is to learn something. Maybe this season of your life is about healing, rebuilding, or becoming stronger. You do not need your whole life figured out to make tomorrow worth experiencing. Buddhism teaches us to return to the step in front of us. Not the entire path, just the next step. So if life feels heavy right now, do not ask yourself to become excited about the next 10 years. Find one reason to look forward to tomorrow. Then tomorrow, find another. One day at a time. One peaceful activity at a time. One meaningful goal at a time. And if tomorrow becomes difficult, do not immediately decide that everything is wrong. Remember that one difficult part does not cancel the whole day. There can still be something good later. Keep a little space open for that possibility. Maybe the morning will be hard, but the evening will be peaceful. Maybe one conversation will upset you, but another will make you laugh. Maybe one plan will fail, but another opportunity will appear. Life is constantly changing. Do not close your heart to the good simply because you have experienced something difficult. This is what it means to train your mind to feel better every day. You do not wait for life to become perfect. You learn how to create small moments of peace inside an imperfect life. You give yourself reasons to continue. You create things to enjoy. You notice what is still meaningful. You treat tomorrow like another chance instead of another burden, and slowly your relationship with life changes. You stop asking, "When will my life finally become good enough for me to enjoy it?" Instead, you ask, "What can I appreciate today, and what can I look forward to tomorrow?" That question is much more powerful. Because you cannot control everything tomorrow will bring, but you can choose how you prepare for it. You can choose one small thing that makes tomorrow kinder. You can choose one activity that gives you peace. You can choose one goal that gives you direction. You can choose one moment that belongs only to you. Never underestimate how much these small things matter. A meaningful life is not built only from huge achievements. It is built from ordinary mornings, simple conversations, small improvements, quiet evenings, and thousands of moments most people forget to appreciate. Buddhism teaches us to wake up to those moments. So give yourself something to look forward to, not because tomorrow is guaranteed to be perfect, but because it is another opportunity to learn, another opportunity to heal, another opportunity to make a better choice, another opportunity to experience something beautiful that you cannot yet see. Let tomorrow remain open, and when you wake up, do not ask life to give you a perfect day. Simply ask yourself what you can do to make this day a little more peaceful, meaningful, and enjoyable. Sometimes that is enough. Feeling better every day does not always require changing your entire life. Sometimes it begins with knowing that after today's difficulties, there is still something good waiting for you tomorrow. Feeling better every day does not mean that every day will be easy. You will still face stress, disappointment, difficult people, unexpected problems, and moments when your mind feels heavy. Buddhism teaches us that peace does not come from controlling everything around us. It comes from learning how to respond to life with a calmer and wiser mind. Do not let one difficult moment destroy your entire day. Accept that some days will feel heavier than others. Train your attention to notice what is still good. Stop believing every negative thought that enters your mind. Protect the beginning of your day. Stop carrying other people's emotions, and always give yourself something small to look forward to. You do not need to fix your whole life in one day. Start with one thought, one reaction, and one small habit. When something goes wrong, remind yourself that it will pass. When your mind becomes negative, pause before believing it. When someone disturbs your peace, remember that their emotions do not have to become yours. And when life feels repetitive or difficult, create one small reason to enjoy tomorrow. Buddhism reminds us that everything changes. Difficult moments change, painful emotions change, problems change, and you change too. The way you feel today is not necessarily the way you will feel tomorrow. Give yourself time, remain patient with your mind, and keep choosing small actions that bring you back to peace. A better life is not always created through one huge change. Often, it is created through small, peaceful choices repeated every day. Take care of your mind, appreciate the simple moments, let go of what you cannot control, and keep moving forward without carrying yesterday into today. You may not be able to make every day perfect, but you can become better at finding peace inside imperfect days. And that is how you slowly begin to feel better every day.